Good evening, Sanctuary family. We are so excited that you've tuned in again this week. Check out this hot panel tonight.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm feeling so youthful up here with y'all. This is our youth panel, and we're going to just be having some conversation with them in a little while, but we hope that you have some coffee. Maybe you're in your PJs. I'm highly jealous if you are. But it's just going to be some fun. We're going to have some fun at the beginning, and then we're going to just kind of let them share their hearts with you and a look at the pandemic on a different side through youthful eyes. But before we get started, I want to remind you, we're still having sign up for church. We would love for you to join us. We had an amazing service, a great attendance this past Sunday. Were y'all excited to be back?
Absolutely.
Yes. It's awesome. Nothing can replace this, right?
No.
And do y'all want them to come this Sunday?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do y'all know what you have to do to sign up for church?
Text
Text
church.
the number.
My
Text
parents
church.
usually take care of that.
All right, somebody tell them what you got to do to sign up. Do y'all know for real?
I'll say.
Blake.
Text church, everybody. CHRUCH.
Thank you for
spell
that.
it wrong. Did I spell it wrong? Oh my God, I just spelled church wrong. I can't spell. I haven't been to school in a long
We
time.
ain't been to
was
school in a long time.
Anyways,
so-
text church to
Text
912-384-1036. That's what it is. Boom.
384-1036. We got two services, 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock. You can choose, but when the capacity is full, there's nothing we can do. So sign up now. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Are y'all nervous?
No.
Yes.
There's
I'm
only like
nervous.
500 viewers. This is all good,
Yes.
guys.
Oh, we
It's
got
all
2,000
good.
viewers tonight.
By the end of the night, there will be more than 1,000 people watch this.
Great.
Okay.
That's
All right,
fabulous.
take it away, Miss Sally. You want to introduce yourself and then these ladies and gentlemen?
Absolutely. My name is Sally Bryant, and I am one of the youth leaders here at the Sanctuary, and I am blessed to work with these youth. They do bring joy and life to my life. So,
I'm Josh, and I'm 16. Gonna be in 11th grade, and I've been homeschooled since March.
Yep.
I'm Addie. I'm going to the 9th grade. I'm a freshie, as Whitney says. And I got a CCA.
My name is Whitney. I'm 15 years
Oh,
old,
mercy.
and I go to Coffee High School.
I'm Bailey. I'm about to be 18, and I'm graduating next weekend. Woo!
At least she hopes.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe.
My name is Blake. I am 17 years old, and I'm going to, online school? Yeah, I'm online school, yeah.
And I'm Brandy Harris, and that's my girl, Addie, and we're going to have fun. Y'all ready? I'm her mommy. Okay, y'all keep your mic up here so they can hear y'all, okay?
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
we'll
Ready.
start with you, Joshua, okay? And we'll go from Joshua this way. Josh, if you could change your name, what would you change it to?
I would change it to Alan.
Alan.
I don't know, it just seems cool.
Alan.
Alan.
That's cool.
But now, wait just a minute. The
Very
youth
original.
Came up with other names for each other. What was his name on the
Alan.
Alan.
No, it
It was
wasn't
Alan.
Alan. He
Alan.
likes the name.
Okay, drop an emoji if you think Josh looks like an Alan.
Alan.
Yes.
Let's
Thumbs
see your
up,
best
thumbs up.
Alan
A big
pose.
thumbs up. A big thumbs up.
There's
guys.
his Alan pose.
All right, Addie, what would you be?
I'm going to have to go with Jordan.
Jordan. Very edgy.
Jordan. Yes.
Jordan.
Edgy
It's like
Wow.
like a basketball player that you
And I'm a
don't
LeBron
like.
fan.
Yeah.
I'm a LeBron fan, guys.
Yeah. That makes
Sorry,
no
Jordan.
sense at all.
Wait, hold on. You would change your name to Jordan, but you love LeBron.
Well, James.
Okay.
James.
James.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
All right, Whit, what you got?
I would be a Serena.
Serena.
Oh.
Serena Williams.
I can see her.
I
I
like
can see
that.
her, Serena.
Like
Yes.
the tennis player, because you play tennis. I got you.
I would probably be like a Madison or something. I mean, let's just be basic here.
I'd probably be like a Madison.
Haha, so funny, Jordan. Oh, James. I'm sorry. James.
My turn. Okay. I would probably be Spencer.
Spencer.
The nerdiest.
Oh, okay. All right, Madison.
Spencer, the media guy.
The media guy.
All right, starting with Blake. If you could live anywhere, Blake, where would you live? Anywhere.
Ooh, you hit me with a tough question. Probably like a a lake house. Just
Lake
any
house.
lake house.
Lake
Just
and
give
a
me
lake house. BB.
I would definitely want to live in Bora Bora because, I can get my tan year round.
Oh,
Heck yeah.
mercy.
Would
Let's
you
go.
take your mom? Because I'm not
No.
sure she tans as well.
No, I'm not.
I
Mama
don't.
is not a beach person. She's not
I
going.
can sit on the porch on the swing. That's
She'll
Yeah.
go with Blake to the lake.
She'll go with Blake.
Yes,
Yes.
Blake.
We'll be at
All
the lake
right,
house.
Whitney.
I would want to live in Panama, right on the beach.
On
Yes,
the beach.
girl.
All right, I'm
Yes.
going with you. All right, Addie.
I like Douglas.
Oh.
What?
I don't.
I
Okay,
love Douglas.
I'd want to I ride my 4-wheeler. I go mud bogging. I couldn't just live at the beach. Like I
Live
love
that
the
redneck
beach. No offense to the beach.
She's a
But I'm country.
homebody.
Shoot, you can mud bog in Claxton. I mean, you can mud bog anywhere.
All right,
Shout out
Josh,
to
where would you
Claxton.
live?
I'm gonna have to agree with Addie. I'll just stay in Georgia.
Really? Okay.
We'll vacation with y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll come to my lake.
Okay, last one. Y'all got 1 second to give me like off the cuff
Okay,
answers. Starting with you, Josh. You ready? You can meet one celebrity. Who would it be?
Russell Wilson. He's in sports.
That's okay.
This is a
Russell
celebrity.
Wilson.
Okay. All right,
Seahawks
Addie.
quarterback.
I'm stuck between Patrick Dempsey and LeBron James.
Both of them
Okay,
at the
go with
same time.
LeBron.
I was going to go with LeBron, too.
Ooh, say Carrie Underwood.
Carrie
Okay.
Underwood,
Okay.
really? Okay, Tom Holland, Ariana Grande, and Zendaya all at the same time. Thank
He
you.
couldn't think of one. There you go.
Zendaya. That's my girl.
All right, Miss Sally has a few questions, and then I have a few this or that. So get your microphones to your mouth and just pop off your answer. Ready?
All right.
Absolutely. Let's see. Would you rather
Mm.
always have your lips in a duck face pout or always have your eyebrows raised in surprise? I can see some of you trying both of those.
Probably my
Probably
eyebrows.
my
Yeah, the
eyebrows.
eyebrows.
But,
I had to choose
but
the
if
eyebrows
you're
on
mad
that.
at somebody, you're gonna be like,
I go out
"Listen here." Like,
Don't
I
you
know.
ever do that again. Understand me?
loud.
Or you're
My
gonna be
lip
duck
like
lips.
this.
Right. You can never talk.
I'm happy. I promise I'm happy. I promise.
Okay. Here's y'all one. This or that. You got to say it quick. Netflix or go to the movies?
Netflix.
The
Netflix.
movies.
No.
Yes.
old
the
man.
movie.
No, but sometimes they're
I'm
not
an old
good.
man, apparently.
That's
I
why
like
his
to go
name's
to the
Spencer.
movies.
He doesn't.
Answer.
He doesn't
That's
get
the answer
guys.
here.
He don't get out a lot, so he likes.
Okay.
He likes the large popcorn with extra butter. Okay. Mine is, would you rather yell, "You can't handle the truth," every time you order food in a drive-thru, or would you rather yell, "May the odds be ever in your favor," every time you enter a crosswalk?
Definitely.
May the
odds
odds.
be
Definitely
ever
the
in your
crosswalk.
favor.
I feel like
Yeah.
you need the odds in your favor.
This is true. This is true.
All right. Friends or Space Jam?
Friends.
Space Jam.
Ooh, Friends. I'm going to have to go with Friends.
All the way.
We don't
Friends.
recommend. We
Friends.
We're not
Pastor friends.
Friends. We're not saying we've watched it, but sorry, Pastor. But yes, Friends.
Here's you another one. Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
Backstreet.
Backstreet
Boys.
I like NSYNC.
Backstreet
New
Boys.
kids. New kids on the block.
What?
That wasn't an option.
That wasn't even.
Absolutely. Okay. I have one more. Would you rather give up texting or give up online shopping?
Online shopping.
Text.
Online shopping.
Online shopping.
Jeez,
I'm
man.
not
I
an
don't do that
online
anyways.
shopper.
Oh, I like online shopping.
No, I like
I
to
like
go in
online
and try
shopping
stuff
too.
on
I don't
myself.
do that.
Texting because you can still Snapchat.
That is the form
That
of
is
texting.
texting.
Oh,
Well,
then
not if you
online
snap.
shopping.
Online
If you
shopping.
snap, that's not texting.
I got two more. Yeah, three more. Okay. Tomorrow, if you could go back to kindergarten, would you, or would you go to college?
Go to college.
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 Spencer, wait.
What would you do?
He wanna go keep
I have
going.
to choose college.
I would.
Just because I don't want to
Sally,
do
what would
first
you
through
do?
12.
I'm going back to kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
Uh-uh.
do
I was
it
in
all.
timeout
No.
too much to go back to kindergarten.
Wait a minute. Are you asking like for our children what we want them to do for me?
Oh, for you, yeah.
I don't know.
What?
It's kind of a balance. I like going to college. Now the first 2 weeks when I went to college, I cried every day. But after that, I was like, I do like that taste of freedom, just a
You
little
could
bit.
just
so.
stay that age forever.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Okay, here's a good one. You ready? Would you rather be stuck in a room with pastors singing
Oh, gosh.
or
B.
stuck in a
Already.
room with no social media.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh, wait. How long we doing no social media?
All day.
All day.
Oh, just one
Okay,
day?
I'll
That's
sacrifice
not
social
bad.
media.
That's not
No
bad.
Which
social
one?
media.
Pastor's
Sorry,
not that bad of a
Pastor.
singer.
No social
media.
We're going to do
Pastor's
no
not that
social
bad of a
media.
singer.
Pastor.
I'll be stuck
No
with
social
Pastor on that
media.
one.
All right, I have an Eliano's gift card. If y'all can sing the whole Awana song. 3,
How's it
2,
start?
1.
Firmly Awana stands,
Hey,
led by the Lord's commands.
hey,
Approved workmen are not
You
ashamed.
gotta do the moves.
Boys and girls for to serve his claim.
hey,
Hail Awana on the march for youth.
hey.
Hail Awana holding for the truth. Building lies on the word of God. Awana stands, our Savior.
A little bit louder.
following, withstands unfaltering and love unaltering. His praise we sing. His banner over us in service glorious. We'll fight victorious for Christ our
Here it comes, here it
King.
comes.
Youth on the march. Huh.
Raise them right, raise them right.
And
This
that
It's an
This
oldie.
is a product of our Awana program. If you're not
Absolutely.
sending your kid, please do so in August.
How many years? How many years have we had that? at Awanas here?
Well, in August, we'll start our 15th year.
Wow, wow. Time
dang.
flies.
So old.
And all of
I
you
know.
have been through the entire program, right? Maybe
Yes.
Josh came in
How sweet.
Fifth grade.
fifth
Fifth
grade,
grade
but the
came.
rest of
Alan,
you
I
started
came
when you
first
started.
year.
In
Yeah.
As a
1-year-old. 1-year-old.
As a
Brainwashed.
cubby. In diapers.
Love
And that's
it.
why we know the whole Awana song.
There you go. Bring your kids to Awanas if you're not. It's the hottest thing on Wednesday night.
Absolutely.
Hot
Yes.
spot.
That.
Hot spot.
All right, now we're going to change gears a little bit. And I want you to tell me a little bit about this whole pandemic through your eyes, because I'm going to be honest, it's been a lot to process as an adult. So I can't imagine in your shoes and you're at your age dealing with all of this. So I want you to share with everybody watching. Just talk to us a little bit about it. I want you to answer this first question, and anybody can go for it here. Take us back to the first time you remember hearing corona.
Okay. I'll get this one.
Oh,
Alright,
okay, go Josh.
Oh, I like it.
I was in the first block
Mm.
classroom. We always watch the news every morning. We started talking about coronavirus at China.
In China. China.
What did you think it was? Like, were you like, what is that?
What's that? I thought it was
Yeah.
Did you think, like, is that real? That's not coming here.
I didn't think it was coming here too far away.
I got
Well, I first heard about it on TikTok.
Oh, TikTok got you.
TikTok.
Like, what did it say?
It was like a TikTok, and I didn't know what to go. Coronavirus.
So you kind of thought it was a joke.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
think everybody was taking it as a joke
I
until
have
it
one,
got
yeah.
serious.
I got
Okay.
one. Well, we
Jordan,
have
where
a
did
group.
you
We
hear
have a
from?
group chat together, all of us. And I remember Blake just sends some of the random crap sometimes.
Oh,
Like he
okay.
just sends
Okay.
links.
It's very important
And
information.
one day I
Thank you.
happened to click on one, and it was like Corona, and then Bailey said, "Y'all, it's just a cold. Chill out."
I thought it was
And
like the
I do
flu. That's what
remember
I
that.
thought it was.
now we're getting shut down because of it.
So it's great. Probably one of those things I sent them, a Snapchat news feed thing. I was like, oh my, what's this? Send it to the group chat. That's
Yeah,
what it
I
was.
told you he sends
Yeah.
just links
Oh my
to
gosh.
stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes he sends stuff. I really don't read some of the stuff because he sends a lot. But yeah, we were at school and like people would talk about it and stuff like that. And I was like, y'all, it's just like the flu. Like, calm down. Like, we just don't have a vaccine. I wasn't really worried about it. I mean, no big deal.
Okay. Now, take us to the moment you realized school was canceled for the year. The moment Corona became a very real thing for you.
All right. Yeah.
Well, I remember when like everybody was like happy that they were gonna cancel school and stuff, but then whenever like the first week after, I think everyone was bored and they missed everybody and they realized that they actually wanted to stay at school instead of leaving.
I miss my friends.
Well, I was at home. I remember the day we found out no school because it's like my senior year. And then I was at home sitting on the couch, like watching a movie. And all of a sudden, like people were calling me. Like Blake was calling me. My mom was calling me and was like, Bailey, I'm so sorry. Like there's no more school. And I was like, are you kidding me? And so immediately I like just go out the back door, I'm sitting on the patio and I'm just like bawling, crying. And I like text our whole senior group chat and I'm like, y'all, I'm so sorry. Like, this is just horrible. And everyone was crying. Everyone was sending videos of them crying. It was just bad. That's when I was like, oh, this is serious.
All right,
That made me
Addie,
cry.
when do you remember hearing the news that school's done?
Well, the group chat again, Blake and his
Thank
links.
you. Hey, you're welcome.
It was
Yeah,
his
you-
link of Governor Kemp. Schools, I will be closing K through 12 schools.
The
And
rest
I'm
of the
like,
school
well,
year.
we're not public schools, so maybe we're still no,
No.
no.
Well,
No.
we did hang on for a little while.
We
tried.
We hung
We
on.
hung on for a little while, so we did.
I
we did
know.
try.
I think for your generation, it will be a lot like for us 9/11. Like I can tell you where I was in the vehicle at South Georgia College when I heard about 9/11. I think one day you will be able to remember exactly the moment you heard of Corona, where you were at when school was canceled. They're going to write about this in history books for my grandkids, your kids. So you won't ever forget it, for sure.
Yeah, I think, you bring up 9/11. I was in a 5th grade classroom, and we had a teacher walk by, and she was telling us about it, and immediately we turned on the TV and started watching it. Of course, we had to turn it off because we didn't know what the effects were going to be on the kids. But, yes, you will never forget where you were when all of this happened, ever, ever.
And Bailey, this leads us into our next question. Bailey is our senior here, and I wanted to have her particularly because I can't imagine, my heart genuinely as a mom breaks for the senior class of 2020. I mean, absolutely breaks for y'all. I want you've handled it very gracefully though, but Bailey is definitely a leader among her peers and among the youth here. I want you to just share your heart. Take us through what this was like for the ending of your senior year. I mean, a lot changed. For CCA, they had hopes of state championship in baseball. I remember, the baseball games were the big thing when school got shut down. I mean, what happened? What did it look like for y'all?
Well, we were at school or whatever, like the last weeks, and we were talking about we were just going through the motions of school, but then they were talking about closing school, and I was like, no, I want to finish classes, and I just want to finish out the year or whatever. But then they canceled school, and then they were like, okay, we'll go back next week. But then they kept pushing it back, and it was just like, I was like, oh, well, we're going to be here for a while. But then they just everything just started canceling, it just being quarantined at the house, and it was just this really, the thing about it just had to be my year. I waited my whole life to get to become a senior and graduate and have everyone there. And then for it to be taken away, it's hard.
And I think Bailey is sharing the emotions of probably every senior, not just here in Coffee County, but across the world. The class of 2020 will uniquely be remembered for this. I'm not sure that it'll ever happen again. Tell me about your faith, because you're strong in your faith. Is that what really pulled you together? Your mom sent me a picture the day that, she had to make the decision to go ahead and cancel CCA for the year. Your mom sent me a picture of your dad holding you, and you were broken and crying. And that's so amazing to have that support like that at home. But tell me, is it your family, about your faith? What has helped you? And you're still coping with this because this is still very real. What have you, give us, what have you done to cope with this?
Well, you just gotta, after I got over everything being canceled, it really opened my eyes. God's taking all the distractions that I had. He was just taking it away, and he's like, no, you need to build and be stronger on your faith. So this is a reason you need to be reading more and just building a relationship stronger. But I will have to say at the beginning, I was we were just stuck at the house, and I'm such an extroverted person. That was awful. But I went through like a week of depression. Like I locked myself in my room, didn't talk to my parents. I didn't talk to my friends. I just didn't care about anything. I just didn't want to be bothered with anything because it was just awful. But then Mama like walked in there and she was just like crying. She was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "I just don't care about anything. I'm just so depressed." And so she was like, "Well, you need to like snap out of it." And she like gave me this talk. And then that's when I was like, okay, like I'm hurting the people I love. Like I'm just hurting them. So then I got back in my word or whatever, and I've been listening to sermons. And it was just, this is the time to just get stronger in my faith and stuff. So that's really what's helped. And my friends really have helped too.
I know during this time, I'm going to speak as a mom real quick. I didn't know what to do. I just saw her everything just drained and sucked out of her. Especially the day when we officially had to say, we can't go back. But I honestly didn't know what to do. We were sitting on the patio of our porch, and I just cried. I cried as a mom. I prayed. And that night, I did go into her bedroom, and, we laid in the bed, which I do all the time. When people are talking on the phone with Bailey at night, they're like, "Have you had your mom talk?" Because I do that a lot. Guess I'm a nosy mom. I don't know. But I just told her, I just reminded her, and I did say, you're going to have to get yourself together. You're going to have to snap out of it, and that's kind of cruel, but at the same time, I tried to remind her the same little video I show the youth all the time about the bison and the wolves and how Satan wants to isolate you because that's where you are a target. And I explained that to Bailey. Bailey, he's pulling you. You've got to be able to recognize what's going on and recognize that the Holy Spirit's trying to tell you, come back, come back. So withdrawing and isolating yourself is Satan's number one weapon, and he'll get you quick if you don't recognize that is him. So
If you've ever watched Animal Planet,
that's right.
I tell this to my kids. That's the first thing the lion will do. He'll try to isolate the prey.
That's right.
Look away from their mom. Try to get them away from their mom. And once he can get them away from the herd, then he can attack them.
That's right.
So it's so important in whatever way to stay connected. And socially, you guys have phones and that kind of thing. And I'm kind of anti-phone in a lot of ways, but I feel through the pandemic, the phones have been quite a lifesaver socially for these kids.
Yeah.
Without ways to connect physically, they have been able, to see each other. They've been able to socially interact. Do y'all feel the phones have really helped y'all through this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you're not maybe seeing people like going to eat and being in your youth group, but at least you're able to snap and talk, have conversation. Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So we'll go right into this next question. Sally, you want to go?
I know what it's like to be a homeschool mom. Tell me how it felt to become a homeschool student overnight.
I got this.
Love it, hate it. Really share your thoughts.
Be careful, Addie.
No, don't be careful. Share.
I just
Share
want to
away.
know, where do I file a complaint against my teacher?
So you're looking
My
for a
homeschool
substitute?
teacher. Yes.
Yeah. We'll get you a
Yes.
substitute list.
But
Her teacher was struggling. Her teacher had one in 8th grade, 6th grade, and 2nd. So we were from Ramona and Beezus to Hamlet. And that was difficult, okay?
let me tell y'all her catchphrase. Look, you're just going to figure this on your own. Wait till your dad gets home.
No, this is my catchphrase. Ask Siri. I don't know how to do that math. Ask Siri.
But
Right.
it was hard. It was hard because like Bailey said, everything got taken away from you in just one swap. And it was like, okay, now, yesterday I was at school with all my friends, and now I'm at home with Ace on the
Yes.
computer.
Love you, Ace. Love you, Ace.
It's like, what happened?
I remember.
So Ace got sent to the principal's office a bunch through homeschool.
Yes.
I remember coming over. I went to Addie's house like later on in the quarantine. They're all doing their homework and stuff. And Addie's just stressed. Like, she's just doing it. I said, I don't encourage, children to cheat. But I said, Addie, just pull it up on Google and just
That's all you
type
can
it.
do.
This is so easy.
Yeah,
Just
me and Bailey are pretty much
opposite.
we're opposite when it comes to schoolwork. I'm perfectionist. She's like, just don't care, just turn
Yes.
it in.
You got to do what you got to do. Use your resources,
Live
people.
You will
life,
get an
honey.
A.
I'm like, no, it's not right.
I got an A, didn't I?
So, Whitney, did you love homeschool life? Did you like doing your work at home?
Yes.
Really? Why?
Because I'm probably more like Bailey when it comes to stuff like that.
All right, Blake, you do a lot online anyways, right?
He was
It
already
didn't-
homeschooled.
Yeah, it didn't affect me as much.
So this guy's going to graduate like high school and college at the same time. So
Yes, that's
he's that
lame.
good, Spencer.
Lame.
me and Blake are the same. That's
Josh,
right.
what about
He
you?
is a student at Coffee High, South Georgia
Uh,
College, and CCA.
Oh my
He
God.
said all of them.
He's not dual, he's triple enrolled.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
triple
wow.
enrollment.
enrolled.
What about you, Josh?
Well, I didn't have a teacher or a substitute at home,
Oh.
so it was kind of hard to do it by myself. So I had to cheat.
Oh.
I would've made it
Yes,
We're out of school. You can't do nothing about it now.
I
Great
know.
integrity,
There's
great
no
integrity.
no proof.
Let me talk about the other end of this, the opposite end. The teachers. This was a huge struggle for the teachers also. So we had to move quickly, kind of like churches, did with media. But we had to learn quickly. And I think as teachers went through this, gosh, love them. They have worked tremendously. Parents have worked. It's been a huge eye opener, and it's really opened the eyes of students, parents, and teachers. Like, wow,
I think there will be a great level of respect across the board
yeah,
when school starts back.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Give me one thing, and y'all can just whoever wants to answer. One thing you loved about the quarantine.
Sleeping in, for sure.
There's not a
That's
lot.
quick.
All right. Who
Um,
else?
Well, I didn't sleep in. I
didn't
So
either.
Addie set her alarm to get
Yeah.
up at 8 and go to the classroom.
Oh
Yes.
my Lord.
But then I would
She's that girl.
I would go to the classroom, and then at 11 I would work out for 2 hours at least. I like that a lot.
Overachiever.
I like being able to focus on like me myself and not having to do it after school when I'm gassed. Like I'm tired. So I
Well, you wake up at 8. So
okay, never mind. Just forget that.
What did you love about it, Josh?
You get a chance to try new things. I'm learning how to play guitar.
That's cool.
Oh,
That's cool.
I'm not good at
Josh.
that. I see you.
Chad and
Pastor
Cassie, I
Chad,
hope you
hear
are
that?
listening to that.
Blake?
Not good yet.
There you go.
It just gave me time to catch up on stuff that I've been behind on. Because y'all know me, I'm busy.
All
Yeah.
right. Bailey, what did you love about it?
I got a dog out of it.
A
So that was
dog.
good.
Oh.
Yep.
Dog
I
out
got
of
a
it.
dog.
Got a dog. All
Yes, I
right.
did.
Sadie Bell.
Now tell me, this might be easier, one thing you hated about the
Oh,
quarantine.
there's a lot.
Just one.
Just
Blake,
one.
what'd you hate?
Staying at the house. I'm extroverted, so
It's just boring.
don't have anything to do at
Nothing to do.
Stuck at the house with only your family for like
A long
a
time.
month and a half. Wow,
2
that's
months.
just
2
terrible.
months.
And all the moms are like, we love the family time.
Oh my God. Yes, posting on Facebook, family time.
Family
Quarantine.
game
Board
night.
games.
We're like dying.
I really missed the appetizers.
Oh, I missed
I'm gonna
her.
be
I
honest.
missed
And appetizers is like my favorite part of the meal. Like the fried pickles,
yes.
fried squash.
Well,
that's
your
me.
mother was
That's-
cooking it up at home.
Mhm.
So, all right.
Her shrimp and grits over here.
Nope. Next question.
Whitney, what did you hate?
Not being able to see friends properly.
Yes. That's probably across the board. Like the
What did you
teenager
hate,
answer.
Brandy?
I hated the most that when the restaurants were closed.
Yes.
Because not that we want to eat out every night, but I want the option
Yes.
to, you know?
I
Yeah.
miss it. After like every Wednesday and Sunday, all of us and like even more people will go to LA200 and we can just sit
Yes.
there and eat cheese dip and
Eat,
salsa.
socialize.
But now
I
we
miss that
can't.
cheese dip.
Yeah.
I hated just not having the option. Yeah. Just go home and be Betty Crocker. There you go.
So many dishes.
Oh,
So
Don't even get me started on the chores.
Okay. Y'all ready? On to next question.
Okay, did you do anything with your family that you did not do before the quarantine?
No.
Anything
Probably
different?
not.
Just a night.
We work out every day at 11.
We cooked at the house. Yeah, we didn't do that before, but we had to learn how to cook at the house. That was a challenge.
We started doing
Home
puzzles.
economics.
We started doing puzzles.
Puzzles?
puzzles.
Puzzles.
No, Mama
are
went and
fun.
bought a puzzle, and then it just stayed on the kitchen table
Yeah,
for 2
none of us
weeks, and then
finished
got
it.
put
None
back
of us
in the
finished.
box, so we didn't even do it.
So if
What was
there's-
the puzzle
If
of?
there's ever another quarantine, y'all can do the
house.
puzzle.
Yeah.
Like one of those big, like,
It was a
1,000
thousand.
thousand
Oh,
pieces.
Thousand
yeah.
piece
Awful.
puzzles.
Girl, keep that thing in
It's
the
a big
box.
house.
Yeah.
I like to try one.
Get cross-eyed.
All right, I want to hear how y'all feel about this because socialization is just part of being a teenager, right? It's part of being a human, but a huge part of your lives. So the biggest part of a quarantine is isolation. So tell me how that affected you, or did it affect you? Maybe you're an introvert. Tell me. Tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly of just being isolated from your friends. Addie explained this to me. It's a good way to explain it, and maybe you guys feel the same way. She almost felt like it was a death. Like she had no idea that when she saw her friends the last time, that was the last time she was going to see them for a while. So it was almost like some grieving that she went through. How did you guys feel about it?
Kind of the same.
You
Never
go.
really saw them
Yeah.
at all.
I'm a person, I like to soak up the last. Like, I want to know when something's my last. And our last day of school was a Monday, I think. And I remember Miss Sally come over the intercom and was like, we're just going to be out Monday through Friday. And I was like, okay, we'll be back next Monday. But then it's like, okay, next week, and then here we are, no school. And I didn't see my friends for like a month. A month. It was
So you
bad.
think you would have done better as a group if you knew this was the last day I'm seeing you? Like, this
Yeah.
is my goodbye. This is my last time at CCA.
Yeah, most definitely.
You think you would have dealt with that better?
Yeah.
But there was no way to know. I mean,
No.
there wasn't any way
So, like,
to tell.
more closure would have been
Mhm.
nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What about you, Blake? Tell me about being isolated. How did that feel? Because you five are really close.
Yes.
Yes.
Eating out all the time. I mean, I think
Spending
Addie
money.
hangs out with them more than she
Yeah,
hangs
money.
out with us. Sometimes I'm
Yeah.
Spending all that money.
jealous.
Yeah,
Um,
when we're bored, we'll just text each other, hey, y'all want to go eat tonight?
So
Yeah.
this was part of your isolation, being separated from this group right here. Tell me about it.
Yes.
How did it feel?
I have to say, like, just being isolated, it really put like a wedge in between all my friendships. Like, with them or whatever, I didn't talk to them. Like, I mean, I talked to them every now and then, but we couldn't see each other. So it was like you were kind of losing friendships, in my opinion, because I know that's how I felt. Like, me and Blake, I didn't hang out with them. So it was like kind of devastating with everybody.
It was almost like a mental prison. Almost.
was.
Like I was trapped.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trapped in a house.
Trapped in four walls.
I promise, yeah.
Yeah.
It was awful.
You know, we would get on, the youth would have just a mini lesson on Zoom on Tuesday nights. And one of the questions we talked, or I asked was, you know, if you haven't had a breakdown yet, it's probably coming. And I had them like raise their hand. Raise your hand if you just lost it. There was that one day, that one moment you lost it. It shocked me because just looking at them, I knew Bailey did, but I didn't know about the rest of them. They all just their little hands on there, just raised their hand. I was like, oh my gosh. So it's not just adults that didn't know what to do. It's teenagers. So, you know, a new challenge in life. But
I really do. All of you have handled it so gracefully. I mean, because as moms and dads, I mean, we try to keep peace in our home, but there were so many times of this feels really weird. And I really, to be honest with you, don't know what tomorrow will look like, and still we're saying that about some things moving into the future. But your faith is admirable, all of you. And the way that you connect and the way that you lead others is beautiful. Okay, so moving on to the next question here. Sally?
the next one, some of you kind of talked about it, but if you can kind of think about it in more depth. Spiritually, how did you cope with the pandemic spiritually?
Well, I mean, I
Any
had more
scripture or book that kind of stood out that you were reading? What? Go
time.
ahead.
Yeah, I
Brad.
had more time to watch a lot of like the online sermons of bigger churches like Elevation and Transformation Church and stuff like that.
And who do you like to listen to the most?
Probably Michael Todd.
Michael Todd.
Michael Todd.
Yes.
How I dealt with it was listening to worship music and just pray. It made me feel way better.
Mm-hmm.
One scripture I really reflected on a lot was, "He'll never leave us nor forsake us." And I just thought, like, everybody else, they didn't forsake each other, but, you know, you were forced to leave each other and abandon each other. And just the comfort of, I'm not alone. He's still with me and will always be with me just makes you feel better. A lot better.
Whitney?
I think that the most important thing about all this was having more time to like get closer to God and like reading your Bible more and just doing all that.
Yeah. It was really hard because, like, we didn't, like, when church was closed, that was the big, like, whoa, like, this has gotten too far. Like, the government
Like,
can
hold up
literally,
now,
yeah,
hold up.
like, that was when it was like, that was just,
Like, now you're really,
yeah, now you're really
We've
stuck.
crossed the
Yeah.
line,
I've
sir.
got a question. It's not on this list, but I want to ask. So these are really good things that you've learned over the pandemic. But now, as we're slowly edging back into a more normal way of life of what you remember, how will you hold on to what you've learned? Will you just busy back up your schedule again, or
No,
tell me?
yeah.
You learn, don't take anything for granted.
No.
You
Yes.
never know
Don't
what
waste
could
it.
happen
Like,
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Especially like church. Like
Yeah.
that's just something we all go like we come here
Mm.
Wednesday and Sunday and most every day in between is and then it's like, okay, you can't go there anymore. And you can't go to school either. No ball
Mm.
games, no restaurants.
No.
8
Sorry,
weeks.
just stay at house.
And I honestly feel like God got to the point, like, we were all going through the motions of life. Like, we were busy and we, come to
Yeah.
church, sing 3-4 songs, pastor preach, then you leave, go eat. But really, like, from last service, like, it's like we were just isolated from it and it's no church. But we come to service Sunday and it's like a spark just ignited in everybody. It was like just crazy. That was, I mean, I think that's what everyone learned it. Like, they're going to be more appreciative and and just it's going to be better.
And I love this about this generation because I hear all the time we're missing it here. We're losing this generation. But I think you all testify, and you're a representation of the youth group here at the sanctuary. We're not losing this generation. We're winning this generation. This generation missed church more than anybody else that I know. They were the ones doing the Zoom calls, reaching out to their other youth members and trying to stay connected. They were the ones, I'm guessing, signed up very quick to be at church Sunday morning. We're not missing it here. We're
No, we're
winning.
not.
You
We're not.
guys are leaders. Leaders. I love it. I love
me
it
too.
because it's just confirmation and it's comforting as a parent. We're winning.
That's one thing I really hate when people like will talk down about our generation. I'm like,
Yes.
you don't know. You're not a
We're
part
not
of the
just
generation.
cupcakes here.
Stop
We're
calling
not
us cupcakes.
Like,
That's not cool.
yes. Like, they're like
Well-
judging us according to, the cupcakes
When
out there.
Dad-
We ain't cupcakes.
When Dad's mad
Like,
at me,
back
he calls
off.
me cupcake.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
he'll be
not
like,
a
you cupcake. I'm like, you old man.
Like, I mean, this is terrible talking trash.
Well,
Bring it.
I will tell you what I've learned over the last 2 years or several years is one word about youth in general is transparency. They want to see real, not fake. And let me tell you, they have a very strong discernment, and they know what's real and what's fake. And I have learned that, and it's helped me grow. So
Tell me, do you see the world differently now? Like, do you feel like less safe? Do you feel maybe the same as you did before the pandemic? How do you see the world now?
Okay, I will have to say this. Like, a lot of people, pastor asked me to come and pray, like, because they were doing, like, the Church of God thing, and he asked me to pray and stuff. And all the pastors on there were, like, praying for the youth, and they were like, please don't let them be fearful. And in my case, like, and from all the people I talked to, I don't think we were necessarily afraid. It was just a lot of devastation of, like, it was just the isolation thing and everything for teenagers. It's not that we were afraid of this coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't scared.
Well, like in like the news, they weren't giving us a reason to be afraid.
No.
Like we're not 80 plus,
No.
so they weren't.
That's
like,
very
you know,
true. Like
We
weren't
didn't have a reason to
scared.
be afraid. They were like, it's just gonna affect you like a cold, but everything was stripped from us. You know what I'm saying? Like
They
it-
almost made it seem like we were the reason.
Yeah,
why it
but
was
did you
continuing to
ever
spread,
feel?
almost.
Do
we're
you,
the reason for
do
everything.
you guys feel some sense of responsibility because you watch the news and you more than likely you could be the carriers,
Yeah.
young people. Do you feel a sense of responsibility, and will you continue to feel that responsibility moving forward?
I feel responsible not to cough in public.
Yeah. I feel like people have really watched what they touch and who they come in contact with, and just like sanitation as in general, I promise.
Yeah, it's especially like we went down to the beach the other day for like a day trip,
Yeah.
and I went to the ocean, and I'm walking back up, and there's this man's coming towards me, and he just stops, and I'm like,
6 feet.
Yeah.
"Are you gonna go? Or you want me to go?" He was like, "Go." I was like, I mean, it's like I don't know, the black.
I want
plague.
you to breathe
know.
on him.
Yeah.
And I'm
was like,
not a fan
I'm
of
sorry.
these masked people. Like I just look like, oh, they are not pretty. I just look
I
like
look
I
good
got
on
some.
you.
I'm like, I'm suffocating.
Yeah, I just go to Walmart. I make it a little game. You hold my breath as long as I can. Just walk down the
You gotta
aisle.
brush your teeth extra good. That way you don't smell your
I
breath.
swear.
That'd be nasty.
But what I do love about your generation is that you're selfless. So I do feel like if you thought you needed to wear those to protect other people,
Mhm.
you would all do it,
Oh,
hands
yeah,
down.
for sure.
I
Well,
love
and
that.
Bailey actually, we borrowed a sewing machine, and she learned a new trade.
Yeah.
She was able to sew some masks.
Oh yeah, I learned how to sew. You know.
Yeah, she learned how to
Look
sew
at
YouTube.
you.
I'm getting
YouTube.
to the
It
age.
It wasn't from her
I'm
mom.
getting to
it was
that
from
age.
YouTube.
I can sew.
So,
Okay, well, I guess unless y'all have anything else you want to say, do y'all want to speak from your heart to the camera, to the people watching? They want to hear from you, not me. So off the cuff, you want to say anything? Maybe some advice you want to give to other young people? I don't know. Tell me.
Don't feel like you're alone, because that's mainly when the enemy can attack. Like you didn't get invited somewhere. Everybody was stripped from it. It's not just you, and I probably should have not the only one that feels that way. So don't feel isolated. And text me if you feel isolated.
Call Addie. She wants someone to talk
Call
to
me.
on the daily basis.
I'm always in a good mood.
912.
I promise.
Blake, what about you? Tell me or tell them some advice for youth.
For youth, probably to take every moment and keep it. Like, spend time wisely. Don't take it for granted.
I would say, don't worry. It's all going to be over. God is in control of everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey, you want to say anything to the class of 2020?
Well, we're a unique class. I have to say that.
Oh,
I don't know. We'll be remembered out of all the class. I'll tell you that for sure. But we're trying to make it better, trying to get a graduation back. We can only have 10 people probably, but we're at least trying to have something, and then prom. So we're trying to get back to at least close to normal. But
you're talking about the class of 2020, but they are the class that was born around 9/11. So
that's crazy.
two
This
tragedies,
is-
I tell you that.
it's crazy, really crazy.
Yes.
I thought we're close to time, so I thought before we left we would do something funny.
Okay, great. That has my number already.
Y'all,
This one's for Addie.
off the cuff, you are the funniest people I know. So
Absolutely.
here we go.
It's just we feed off each other, so it's just like
Our
That's
church will appreciate this, okay? Give me your best Pastor Bob impression.
Ouch. Oh.
Yeah, we gotta stand
Let's
up
do
and
it
do the
one by one.
dance.
Please
All right,
demonstrate.
Addie first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo! Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right, who else? Anybody got a good Pastor Bob? We love our pastor, by the way.
Absolutely.
Just the scratch of
If
the
you
head.
don't have a
Just
church,
scratch.
you should come to the sanctuary because we
Yes.
have fun and we love our pastor.
Yes.
Anybody else? You
I
got a
like
good-
his little twigginese saying when he's like, oh,
Vowelisms.
I bet he had a lot of German X.
German
here.
X.
I tell you that.
That's Germ X.
German
Yeah.
X.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Blake can do good impressions.
What good
Give us the
impression?
way he talks, please. You're really good at
Do
voice
it.
stuff.
Do it, Spencer.
Oh, I don't want to call him out like
No.
that. Look,
Do
look at
it.
him.
Do it.
One word that comes to mind that he says all the time. Diddy. Diddy.
And I think
Also pronounced daddy.
the
Yeah.
funny,
Must be daddy.
the
That's the
funniest
English
thing.
language.
Well, I love Pastor. He's so funny. But when he's preaching and he gets into it, he's like, "You not choking me right now." I promise that is the funniest. thing.
Okay,
Church of God.
sometimes, not gonna lie, sometimes I count the amount of times you,
I do
you do
too.
that.
I do too. He was like 26 one day. I tell you that. It was so funny.
I'm like,
need to go
man,
to
he's
the
at
altar.
30. It's
Y'all
only
need to
5
go
minutes
to
into
the
the
altar.
sermon.
My brother would hit me and be like, "He's doing it again." And I'm like, "I know."
Y'all need to go to the altar.
That's funny.
It's so funny.
Raise your hands if we have amazing worship here at the sanctuary.
Woo.
Chad.
Raise your hands if we have amazing pastor.
Woo.
Yes.
Raise your hands if you believe we have an amazing youth leader.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
And
So-
children's pastors.
And children's pastors.
Yes.
Pastor Nick and Misty are
Yes.
the bomb. And you know, I hate to do this, but it's necessary. What's your best Miss Sally impression?
You getting on my dang nerves. I get that one a lot.
That's just at home.
Yeah. Y'all see like Mama's nice sweet side. I see Sally Jones at the house, not Sally Bryant.
Sally Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, it's back.
Come on, anybody?
The
got it?
funniest thing is watching Miss Sally on the phone with her. Like she'd
Oh.
be like, "What? What? What are
I
you doing?
promise.
Where are you at?"
She changes her tone according to me. Like the way she on the phone, I know who she's talking to. When she's on the phone with Brandy, she's like, "Bonjour," and then when she's on the phone with like a parent or something, be like, "Sally Bryant," and then when she's on the phone with me, she's like, "Where are you?" Like she's just so like rude.
That we can multi, task
Yes.
moms
Like,
that were
she-
gifted
fake.
in that area.
She always.
Hey, whoa.
Oh yes, like my mama. When we pull up to the
Uh-oh.
drive-through,
Yes.
doing
Keep
Sally.
going.
I
know.
Now.
I want to hear
Keep
Brandy.
going. She set me
When
up
we pull
last
up to
week.
the
She set me up
drive-thru.
this week. Keep
Yes.
going.
when we
Please
pull up
keep
to the
going.
drive-through, so like we're at Burger King, we're late for school. We haven't had breakfast. She's like, "I'm gonna whip in here and get y'all a biscuit. Y'all better shut up." And I'm like, "What do you want, Ace?" He's like, I want a sausage biscuit with the Coke Ice." She'll get like a sausage biscuit with the Addie, what do you want? The same thing. She'll take the same. And pull up there.
You can't be.
We're gonna be
all
late for school.
All right, that's been enough. All right, guys, we're so glad that y'all joined us.
Cut the camera.
Seriously, we're so thankful you tuned in tonight. We hope you enjoyed, I know I did, this youthful look at the pandemic through their eyes. And we are even more excited to see you here at the sanctuary this Sunday. Again, what's the phone number they got to text?
912
912
384
384
1036.
1036.
And
Text
it's
the word
CH.
You are
Okay. Okay.
What word did they text?
Church.
There you go.
Hey, one more plug. Next Wednesday, we're going to try to get our youth together in the youth room. So be looking for that around 6 Thursday. Next Wednesday. Next Wednesday
Whoa,
at 6 Thursday. Yes, Wednesday.
Hey, and also it's graduation spotlight on our Sanctuary Facebook page. So every day this week we're going to be highlighting a senior here from the Sanctuary. So congratulations, class of 2020.
Yes.
All right, we love you, and we're out.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.